What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be making a standalone video, kind of in response, kind of not, to this one right here. It's called Propaganda I'm Not Falling For Language Levels. It's from Fluency Formula. Now, Fluency Formula is someone I've made videos on before. We had a public online spat probably about 5 months ago around his claims for specific language levels and time frames. I did not agree. I thought it was bullshit. He did not agree. The videos are out there. You can go watch them if you want. But anyway, he just dropped this video a couple of days ago. Someone linked it to me, and funnily enough, it is about language levels and how this is apparently propaganda. Now, in the video, he doesn't mention propaganda, but that obviously got the attention of the person who sent it to me, and then when I watched it, my face pops up in the video. So you put my face in a video, you get my response. This is basically how it is. So what he says in summary is that language polyglots seem to care too much about the CEFR, and realistically, what we should all be caring about is just making progress in a language to become conversationally fluent and use the language to engage in deeper conversations. And with that, I 100% agree that we should just be caring about that. So why the hell then do I talk about the CEFR on this channel? Because he also talks about the instance where it's important. He says, well, it's understandable, you know, in academic contexts, and he leaves it at that basically. Well, that's the important part, because there is a point at which this is very, very important, and it's basically what I cover on this channel. So if you are to professionally work with a language, it is important that we understand your capabilities with that language, not to judge you, not to like freaking gatekeep or anything like that, although it is a form of gatekeeping. It's so that when we hire you to do a job with a language, we know you're capable of doing it. A perfect example is many years ago, Obama went to South Africa. He gave a speech in front of a very large audience with news crews there, and they hired an interpreter to basically interpret to sign language for the deaf community who would be watching the speech. You know what happened? That deaf interpreter was clearly not qualified. I don't know how the hell he got up there on stage, how he got past all that security, but he gave an interpretation which was literal bullshit. He just made up the language as he wanted. He literally giving gang signs at points, okay? Like, this was not an actual interpreter. So in this instance, are we gatekeeping by stopping this guy coming up here, making a lot of money and interpreting for a community that will not understand him? No, that guy should not be on stage. He's a fraud. Get the fuck out of here, okay? That's basically how it works. That's why we have a testing system in place. Now, is it just relevant to this one specific scenario? No, it's also relevant when you want to immigrate. So if you want to immigrate to certain countries, they literally have language requirements in order for you to immigrate. You can't just come in here, you know, with soft feelings and happiness and love and wanting to cuddle and be like, oh mate, you know, why can't we just connect on a personal level and then you give me the visa? No, there's a test involved. I'm sorry. He's not just going to like enjoy your presence and then give you a visa. Now, the one that I actually care about, and this is the one that's probably annoyed the crap out of him, is as soon as you become a language influencer and you try to sell courses. If you're selling a course, which is literally called Fluency Formula, okay, as in you become fluent, as in you're at least the B2 level, okay, then shouldn't you be at a fluent level when you sell that course? Because like if someone's going to buy your course, they assume that you are very fucking good at what you do. And that is why they're paying you. They're not paying you because you're like congratulating them and, you know, encouraging them and stuff. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's a tiny fraction of it. No, it's because they look at you and your claims and say, oh shit, this guy knows what he's doing. He's done it before. I want to learn from him. Okay. So when someone calls you out because you're making claims about being at specific levels you are not yet at, it's not because I'm trying to gatekeep or anything like that. It's because you're making bullshit claims and you cannot back them up, okay? And those claims are important to the product you're trying to sell to your audience. And it's the same with all the hyperpolyglots I do investigations on. Now, for 99% of people, okay, you're correct. It does not matter. I do not care what some random dude on the street says his language level is. He could be over-exaggerating it, under-exaggerating it, whatever. Most people over-exaggerate because freaking that's what they do, okay? And we've come to accept that. But it doesn't make an impact on the world beyond making you feel like you're better than you actually are. Okay, that's pretty much it. I do not care if you have an A1 or a C2 in fucking hentai fapping. That's your own personal thing. Congratulations, mate. You've put in 4,000 hours into hentai. Good work. Keep it up. You know, like no one cares. But then if you want to get certified, obviously not in that specific context, but like if you want to get certified, now we've got an actual like capability to say, we know you're at this level because you've been tested at this level. And therefore, since we know you're at this level, we know you can sell this. We know you can translate this. We know you can interpret this. And we know you actually are at that level. And therefore, we can have some trust in what you're saying. I don't have any certified certificates about my language levels, but I'm not trying to sell any courses. In fact, I'm going to be doing a certified test for Esperanto, but I'm not selling any courses, and I don't plan to sell any because I'm just a useless fat fuck who can't be bothered, and I just prefer to make a video each day. That's basically what I do. But if you are someone here in the language community making videos about speaking 10 languages and all you got to do is pay for my $4.99 course or whatever, I'm not talking about Mr. Spencer right now, I'm talking in general, then should you be doing a Pikachu face when someone's like, bro, can you show me some proof that you actually speak those languages? Like, to me, that seems obvious. That eventually someone's going to turn around and say, wow, okay, cool, you speak this language at a fluent level. I'm interested in buying your course. Can you tell me what your level is? Or show some proof of your level, because you know that's going to be a deciding factor in whether I buy your course or not. Okay? So to all those people out there who are like, oh, we shouldn't be like putting so much pressure on these tests. Yeah, for 99% of people, don't. But if it's an influencer selling shit, put that pressure on, okay? If they're legitimate, shouldn't be too hard to either prove it through a test, or if they don't want to pay for a test, which I find surprising, but if they don't want to do that, then, I don't know, just do conversations at the level that you say you are in long form videos. That seems like a simple, like, either another way of doing it. You don't have to do a test, but if you have equal, like, freaking material showing that you can do that, then great. That's fine, okay? Now, I'm not going to talk about Spencer's claims because I don't think it's relevant for this video too much, but overall, there is a big issue in the community about people making wildly crazy claims and using highly ambiguous words to basically, when they get called out on it, say, well, I didn't say exactly this, I said this, and it could mean this in very specific instances. That's why when I talk with, you know, actual polyglots and stuff, I like to ask them their actual level so that I can see where they really are. Because when someone says they're, I don't know, fluent, conversational, fluent, they're survival in a language, it could mean anything. Realistically, it can mean anything, okay? Look, I could probably say right now, you know, I could survive in Spanish. I probably could. You drop me in Spain. I've only done 150 hours. I'm pretty sure I could like point at a map and do this and go, donde, donde, donde. And then I'll find where I need to go, you know? Or como esta, you know, say these types of things. You know, I could survive. But is that what people really think when you say you could survive in a language? No, I've done polls on this. People have a very different idea, okay? So it's like, there is a reason why we have these tests, and it's for professional context. And if you're an influencer selling shit online, that's professional.